All right, cool. Everybody, welcome to the second official ACYC Twitter space. Uh, sorry, I just read something. Welcome to the second official ACYC Twitter space. I just wanted to host this today to showcase what we've been working on, what we're currently working on, and some of the updates so far as in terms of Treasury Wallet, uh, short-term vision, long-term vision, and the progress we've made. So, Nathan, wondering if you would start by mentioning a couple of the things you've rolled out prior to this space and what you're working on currently.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Before this, I was the web developer at MCC, which is kind of like the precursor project that started this whole kind of genre of project or of token. But now I'm the web developer for ACYC, and you can go to acy.capital to see what we're working on so far. There's not much on there, but I've made a simple dashboard for now. Just threw it together, but I'm going to add a lot more features soon. Make the landing page a lot more unique with a lot more content, maybe get some good graphics on there. And I'm also going to add probably tonight a reflection tracker to that dashboard as well, so you can like see all the reflections you're getting and see kind of like your reflections per day in terms of a percentage, which is always nice to track. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Cool. So with that, I wanted one of the biggest questions I've gotten from a lot of people is what are reflections? And reflections are, it's one of the most exciting things about this, but not the most exciting or even part of the long-term goal. Reflections are essentially every buy, there's a 10% tax. And that 10% tax, so if somebody buys 1 million tokens, 100,000 tokens are reflected to all of the holders. So if you hold if you hold AYCY, you'll, depending on how many you have percentage wise to the entire supply, you'll be reflected a certain amount of tokens from that 100,000 that were taxed. So your amount will always go up. It's always in real time. So if you go and you write down your amount you have right now, say you have 1,000,001 tokens. If you check back in a couple hours, you should have 1,000,000 tokens, uh, depending on how much volume we have. And then, so there's a 10% tax on the buys, but there's also a 10% tax on the sells. And so anytime somebody sells, so say somebody sells 20 Ethereum worth of tokens, 2 Ethereum is sent to the treasury. So the treasury is a wallet that we use to fund our trading algorithm and also to add liquidity. So 10% of every sell is sent to the treasury. 5% or 50% of that 10% sell. So if somebody sells 20 Ethereum worth and we take in 2 Ethereum, 1 Ethereum will go back to adding liquidity to the trading pair, and the other Ethereum will go to the trading algorithm. What that means is, so yesterday we took in a little over 100 Ethereum from taxing the sell side, and thus far we've used 25 Ethereum or 20 to 25 Ethereum to market buy tokens, and then on top of that, we added another 25 Ethereum to the trading pair. So we bought 20 to 25 Ethereum worth of tokens and then added that to the liquidity and matched it with another 20 to 25 ETH, making it harder to affect the price long term with any sell offs. The other half of that sell tax is going to the trading treasury, which will fund our algorithmic bot or program or however we want to classify it. Also wanted to mention in this space that the bot's done. The algorithm's finished, it's complete. Right now, our developer is just working on inputs to make sure that it's completely functional and will, give us the baseline results that we want. It'll be perfected over the long term, but for right now, the algorithm is ready. The algorithm will be launched and operational. We'll run some tests tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to post some results of that algorithm. Uh, Today there were 2 tokens that launched and did 100x. Our algorithm will aim to get buy in early on those tokens and sell high up on those tokens as well. All for the purpose of getting more capital for the long term. So super excited about that. So in short, today Nathan got the dashboard that if you go to our site acy.capital, you can click launch dashboard and it'll show you how much Ethereum is still in the treasury. Right now there's 77 Ethereum in the treasury, and our total treasury has about 500K in it. It'll show our current price, our fully diluted market cap, and right now Nathan is working on showing the buybacks. So we did buy back 20 to 25 Ethereum worth of tokens from the market, and soon we'll be showing those transactions and being transparent about it. Um, and Nathan is also working on adding a reflection function that will show you how much you're reflecting, how many tokens you're bringing in. So that's super exciting too. That's one of my favorite parts about what's to come. And also we'll be, once we get the trading algorithm going, we'll be showing the results of that as well. Bogart, is there anything you wanted to add on to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm really excited with the progress that the whole team is doing, and we have a lot of stuff that we're excited to share with you guys tonight, and a lot of things we're making progress on, and a lot more things that we have to keep close to the breast. We have a lot of good stuff coming for you guys that I think you're going to be really excited about. So yeah, I mean that's all I'll say at the top of this.
Cool. So we've mentioned this since the beginning. Our main goal is to be as completely transparent as possible. So right now, I'm posting an Ether scan. If you go to my Twitter account, I just posted it. There's no context. You can just click the Ether scan, and it'll take you to the top holders in our project, ACYC. I'll give everyone a second to go check that out. All right, so assuming that everyone is there right now, you'll see that the second largest holder in ACYC, it says they hold 38 billion tokens, but if you click on their address, it's actually closer to 43 billion tokens after reflections. And the name of that address is Advisory Fund. I added that to the address prior to this call because we want to be completely transparent. Some projects before launching will set aside tokens and reward their advisors, reward their team, set it for marketing, set it for shills. We did not do that. We did not set aside any tokens from the launch. What we did was we market bought a fair amount, and at the time it was 0.6 Ethereum worth of tokens, and we didn't sell any. We're holding them. You'll see second largest holder and second largest holder having 4% of the supply is pretty fucking bullish. The first largest holder is the trading pair, so technically the largest holder is your advisors and your future advisors. I want to be completely transparent about what this wallet address will be used for. Um, so Nathan, how many tokens do you hold currently? Yeah.
Personally, like 0.1% of the supply,
It,
somewhere
and
around
what
there.
do you know? Do,
So like,
do you
what's
know
that?
what
1
market
billion.
cap did you buy in?
I think it was like a couple hours ago. Let me check real
So
quick.
you bought pretty high. You didn't buy early.
No, I didn't buy early. It was like, I don't know, 18 mil, 17 mil, something like
Exactly.
that.
So that's where I'm getting at with this advisory fund Etherscan. This will be used to reward advisors in the future. The most bullish thing ever is, can we use our treasuries to reward future advisors and future contributed members to this team in fiat or Ethereum? Yes, we can. But would we rather make sure that they're completely invested by rewarding them with tokens? 100%. I could give Nathan 5% of the tokens that from the advisory fund right now, and that'd be like 50K, maybe less. My math could be completely shit. It could be not much at all. But if Nathan or any future advisors really believe in the project, they'll work their asses off to make sure that turns into five mil, 500K. They'll make sure that those tokens that they're getting are worth more in the future. So that's the advisory fund. The advisory fund is your largest holder of 4% currently, and there won't be any sales from that wallet ever. There'll just be transfers out to people who are going to be contributing members. Um, Super bullish. Actually insane. I'm not gonna lie. If you go back to the history of all trades on ACYC, you'll notice that the advisory purchases weren't even the first. There were purchases before. There were purchases after. People held more supply, and we got super fortunate that none of those people had the bullish innate belief that we did, because just about actually every single one of them sold. Some of them bought more tokens than the advisory fund has currently, and they sold for 1 Ethereum. Some of them sold for 40 Ethereum, and they cashed out, but at the end of the day, those are going to be the same type of purchases that we're going to make through our algorithm. We just happen to believe in our project a little bit more than those people. So yeah, just wanted to bring that up on this call. I know a lot of people have been asking about that largest holder. That largest holder is now publicly doxed as the advisory fund. You won't see any sketchy sales out of that, and we'll be using that to reward current and future advisors. Also wanted to mention as well, like when marketing, yes, indeed, we will have marketing, but it won't be the typical marketing because, like we've mentioned in previous calls, we want people who are investing and promoting this project to believe in it. We don't want just anybody who will shill their hundreds of thousands of followers. If you know most of these, not most of the shills, but there are people who exist who will call a token, and the people who follow them, they've learned the hard way that even if they're bullish on it, they have to sell after the 2x. They have to, because every time the people who follow that call sell after the 2x. We don't want that. We want people who actually listen to other people. If you know Elio Trades, Crypto Banter, Alex Becker, just anybody of that nature, whenever they call something, you don't see the dump afterwards because they're not going to call something they don't believe in. Those are the type of marketing people that we're going to try to reach out to. And I'm not going to dox anybody in my inbox, but I'll just say that we've gotten some DMs from some people who would not sell for years. Not going to go any further than that. Especially because my last goal or my last intention with this project is to hype it. This isn't a meme coin; it's a meme coin index, and also long-term cross-chain farming and liquidity fund. But we're not a meme coin. If this was a meme coin, I would try every single way to hype it, because that's all it is. Meme coins are just hype. But this, we're bullish on the tech. Like currently, it's sitting about 15 to a 20 mil market cap, which is good. That's a speculative price. It's fair, I believe, for what we're going to try to accomplish. And I think that's a fair price. If we got to 100 mil in the next few days, I'd be a little concerned. Our algorithm's done and it'll be operational, but we have so much more in stock that this will be $1 billion market cap, but will it be $1 billion market cap next week? Probably not. So I know a lot of us have been scarred in the past through other tokens, MCC, the whole likes of them. You believe in something and it goes to the fucking floor. We do not plan on that being the case for this token, and just about everybody is pretty sleep deprived at this point. Sorry, Bogart. Bogart's pretty much the only one who hasn't gotten a good night's sleep. I hibernated all last night. Also wanted to touch on acknowledge a little error we had last night. Somebody shit in our system. They took a dump. They opened up our toilet's reservoir and they pooped in our tank. To go a little bit deeper into that, what had happened was, if you look at our chart, you'll notice that there wasn't any trading for about an hour and a half. We ran hundreds of thousands of test transactions on our tokens contract through RinkB and other networks to make sure that we were completely not inflationary, and to make sure that nothing would affect our tokens performance in terms of trading. What we didn't account for was a human shitting in our contract. So what happened was somebody sent Ethereum straight to our contract, and it clogged our network. In a TLDR, too long didn't read, our developer put a lock on the toilet's reservoir so nobody can open it and shit in it any longer. So that won't be happening again. And yeah, if that's our FUD, then pretty excited about that. Bogart, is there anything you wanted to mention before we open to some Q&A? Bogart, you there?
I think we lost him.
I'll give him 30 seconds. Oh, okay. Oops. He's bugged right now. I'm going to remove him and add him back. Yep. Bogart, we got you.
Yeah, you removed my access, dude. I
You were
was here listening.
Yeah,
I know, I got cut off.
You were co-host. I don't know what happened.
I know. Yeah. No. Yeah. Just to echo that, I mean, it was not certainly not something we expected, but I was, I was really happy with the community response. It was great to see people just understanding that even though someone took a big old shit in our contract, there wasn't. We felt confident there wasn't anything wrong with our code or anything, and it's an issue we've encountered plenty of times before. So like, we have the biggest brains in the space that are able to get in there and unclog those toilets. And so it was just nice to see the community like wrap around that and have an opportunity to show you guys that we are a competent team, and that if problems do arise, like we are here 100% to answer your questions and to like resolve those issues.
Yeah, exactly. And like I mentioned in the space yesterday, some of the issues that other teams have is that they don't know what they're talking about because they didn't create what they're speaking on. We created everything from the ground up. We know what we're doing. We know how to fix problems when they occur. And when that person opened up our reservoir and did what they did, uh, we made sure that we addressed that as soon as possible. And some people instantly went to, oh gosh, inflationary, oh gosh, whatever, whatever. But we can assure you, never going to be inflationary. Nothing's ever going to happen. And if it does, we've done everything we can to make sure that we know how to correct it. We're not a shitcoin. We don't plan on renouncing our keys in the near future. And I know a lot of people in here are beyond shitcoins, so they don't know what renouncing the keys to a contract means. A lot of shitcoins will renounce the ability for the owner of the contract to make any changes. Usually, you'll do that in meme coins so that the owner doesn't mint an infinite amount of supply and dump on you. It's called rugging. We've all heard of a good old rug. But we are not going to renounce our keys because, I mean, in the near future, because if we had renounced our keys and that person took the shit in our contract last night, we would have had to gone to a V2. We would have had to restart. So our keys will not be renounced. We will be making changes when issues like that occur, and just want to be completely transparent about everything because that's how we're gonna grow to be the leading DeFi 3.0 uh, project in the space. I also wanted to elaborate on a couple other things too. I know we have some new faces in here tonight. I'd like to scroll through who's all here. If you go to our website, it does say that we are a shitcoin index, and that's true. We have a trading algorithm that we plan to buy new shitcoins or DEX tool pairs to massively profit from. But if anyone here has ever gotten rich in terms of, one day you've got $500 and the next day you have 500K, you can't keep doing the same things to grow that capital. The poorer you are, the higher risks you should take. So we're going to start out doing the shitcoin index. We're going to start out doing some, high risk stuff with low amounts of capital for high yields. But with those gains, it's not like if we make 50 Ethereum to 100 Ethereum, we're not just going to go, okay, well, we used to put 0.1 into every new project. Now let's put a whole Ethereum. That's not how it works. We're going to keep the format going. But when we have a massive amount of capital, we're going to start branching out into phase 2, 3, and 4. I can touch on phase 2 at least. Phase 2 will be creating an algorithm for tracking dips. So if there's something with 10 to $50 million in volume a day, and we want to track that, we will set it to a script that will create. And if that coin dips, 30 to 50% in 15 to 30 minutes, our algorithm will automatically execute a buy. And when it retraces up about 50 to 100%, we'll sell. It's just a way to securely, invest that capital without actually feeling like it's exposed. That's phase 2. If we're touching on phase 3 and 4, I'm not going to go any too much further into that. But you can imagine what the long-term goal is. Long-term goal is to provide liquidity for pretty secured, 2.5% gains every day, But when you're working with $1 million to $10 million in funds, 2.5% of $10 million is 25K a day. 2.5% of $10 million is 250K a day. And I know on our website it doesn't really show exactly where the profits are going to, but for the most part, those profits will reward our holders. About 35% of all profits will be distributed amongst holders. 15% of it will go to the council and the founding members. And with that being said, we only make money when we make money. So your council members, your chairman, everybody will make money when the token makes money or the project makes money. Gosh, I don't want this to go everyone over anyone's head have also gotten some questions about, wouldn't it make more sense if instead of just, because right now, we are at like a 15 or 20 mil market cap, and it's been a lot more buys than it has been sells. And our treasury does not make money if people only buy and don't sell. So I've had people asking, well, what if you added some tax to buys that go to the treasury? We're kind of making like a 200 IQ bet on ourselves. So if somebody spends 2 Ethereum, so they buy our tokens 2 Ethereum, and we tax 2% of that and reflect it to our holders, we're going to be taxing zero point 0.2 Ethereum from that 2 Ethereum and distributing it. But if that person spends 2 Ethereum and then holds it to a 10x, when they sell, they'll be selling 20 Ethereum worth, and then our treasury will get 2 Ethereum instead of zero point 0.2. So what, in short, what that means is we're making a bet that we're going to be successful and our price is going to go up, as opposed to taking the low risk, lower reward bet of just taxing buys. We want our holders to get the reflections. If you notice, I'm like the 30th largest holder because I do not want to go through this process without reflecting. Reflecting is, it's pretty much next to nothing. There's nothing that feels better than a good reflection. And that's why I'm super excited for Nathan to get our reflection dashboard added in. So yeah, I hope that didn't go over too many people's head. There will be, we will download this and upload this to YouTube in case people want to replay what was just said and kind of like calculate it. And we will be announcing new advisors in the near future. But we're not going to pump out giga bullish stuff daily. I want you guys to stick around. I want you to be invested, and I want the people who aren't the top 10 holders right now. I want them, when they buy in, to believe in the project. I want them to say, oh, I'm gonna spend 50 to 100 Ethereum to be a top 10 holder because I think that it's still early. Cool. So, Bogart, are we open to bringing up questions?
Yeah, I did want to say first before that, just to echo like the whole idea of like our advisory fund. It's like a lot of these coins, a part of the sales tax goes just directly to a marketing fund. And you can look at most of the other ones, and maybe it's 2.5%, maybe it's 5%. But like it was a conscious decision for us to maximize like our returns for our holders by just saying like, let's not even do that. Let's bet on ourselves, create an advisory wallet, and and let ourselves take it from there. And what that does is that allows all of you to get more reflections, and it allows our liquidity pool to get more filled, and which provides stability to the trading pair. And so it's really like Nate said, it's all about like betting on ourselves because we know that like we have the best team that I think that I personally think we could have in this space, and I think that'll only continue to grow. But yeah, I mean, I would love to take questions from people now.
All right, cool. Let me see. I think we just brought someone up. All right, we'll bring up Resendence. And if anybody wants to request to be a speaker to ask some questions, we're opening the Q&A right now.
Yes. Hey, Nate. Hey, guys. Just had a quick question about your algorithms. These algorithms that you use, have you back tested them or used them and shown them to be profitable? And will you only be using algorithms for the trading, or will you be manually doing it as well?
Yeah, so our engineering team, like our development team, has run like extensive tests, and the algorithms are ready, and they're just running through tons of data, running tons of simulations, and yeah, if we weren't confident that they wouldn't be profitable, then we wouldn't be here. Um, so yeah, that's all happening right now.
Okay, great.
And then to touch on the manual stuff too, the algorithm won't be selling itself, as far as I know. There will be manual input to that, and it won't be something where the algorithm buys and in 5 minutes we sell. So there will be a lot of we have a lot of eyes on deck, and then on top of that too, like I really don't want to pull back the curtains on phase 2 and 3 and stuff, but there will be some manual stuff done as well. and it won't just be one person making decisions. It'll be reflecting against each member to come to a conclusion on whether or not we're going to make this step. And we won't be doing like random trades as far as that goes. There will be manual inputs assisted by our algorithm executing stuff as well.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to hold up the rest of the chat. Just so I'll ask one question tonight. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. There'll be more opportunities in the future as well. Cool. Tori, brought you up to the stage. What's up?
Hey guys, thanks for holding this tonight. It's great to hear you guys speak about the product. So I'm not a dev, I'm not a finance guy. My specialty is advertising. And I think that the 250 people in this chat tonight, we're ultimately, the ambassadors for this project, right? Like we're the ones who are going to step out into the world and speak about this project as best we can. And so, my question is, at like a second graders level, just knowing how many new people are entering the space, like, is there a way that you guys speak about it? Is there a grammar that you guys sort of speak with in terms of communicating what this project is to sort of newcomers?
Yeah, so I think a big part of, obviously any project, especially something as complicated as like DeFi and like what everybody's calling DeFi 3.0 and farming as a service is like, obviously these are a lot of like brainy terms and like you can talk about, cross-chain arbitrage and all these technical terms, but it's true, most people aren't going to understand that. So like, yeah, being able to dumb it down, for lack of a better word, put it into layman's terms and, at a ground level, just say to somebody like, you understand taxes, and then reflections come from there, and we use that to invest and build our capital. And I do think I think like highlighting, sharing that with people who are less experienced and exposed to the space is definitely one of our priorities, because as we grow, we're going to be onboarding people from everywhere, traditional finance people that don't know how to use Uniswap or MetaMask or anything like that. So like having those resources available is absolutely one of our priorities.
That's great. Yeah, we'll be looking out for it, and it's super helpful. So thanks so much for the time, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, that was a really good question too. I also wanted to just add on to that too. If I were like somebody buying in and I were like pitching a friend on this, I would just say that you have a chance to invest in what will become a completely decentralized project that is designed to make money. And most people could be like, oh, well, if it's designed to make money, why do you need me? Like, if you're profitable, then just do it yourself. The whole goal of this is not everybody's going to farm tokens. Not everybody's going to provide liquidity. Not everybody's going to test and, run their own algorithms. So it's just a way to, do stuff that's already being done, but allow the masses access to it. If anybody's familiar with Axie's Infinity, like I don't breed Axies. I don't, create Axie farms. But if I want exposure to an Axie farm, I'll buy YGG Yield Game Guild. I'll buy their token because they're running farms and rewarding their holders. So same thing with us. It's just a different way where if you're bullish on the space and you don't have the time or energy to learn, or don't even want to learn, here's easy access. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, making it accessible to a greater number of people. I mean, that's the goal of any great product, right? So I appreciate it, guys. It's great answers. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Let me see. A couple of people had asked for a spot from the beginning. Oster 2K, I'll bring you up right now.
Hello. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, my thing disconnected from the chat for a second, but I think it's because you guys turned my mic on. I'm kind of new to using Spaces, so um, I just want to say I came from MCC, and I'm sure a lot of people here did as well. Um, I just want to say before I ask some questions, I mean it's really reassuring to actually hear people that seem pretty competent on actually it's very nice to hear a competent team. Like I can definitely tell that you guys are much more trustworthy and much more competent than the team from MCC. And I actually, just from listening in this space, I threw in a little bit of money just to see where things go. I mean, I lost a ton of money on MCC, so I mean, I'm a little nervous about investing in these projects. But I mean, from hearing your space, you guys sound very professional. It seems my intuition tells me you guys definitely know what you're doing. So I do want to say thank you. So I actually have two questions, if you don't mind. Is that okay if I ask two? I don't want to take up too much time.
No,
Yeah,
no,
go
go for
ahead.
it.
All right.
100%.
Thank you. So the first question, so I came from MCC, and that community, I'm not talking about the team, the community that the MCC has is like extremely strong. Like the community, like they hold spaces every night, just the community, like members and everything. They hold the spaces and just vent and talk about things. And it just seems like everybody's just so together. And I was just wondering, do you guys have a plan on maybe attracting the MCC community? Like, is there, because I feel like if we could get that community in here, this this token will blow up so much
Yeah,
faster than even MCC did. Like
yeah, yeah. Ostra, I'll take this because the only reason I wanted to cut you off is because I'm there with you. I was in MCC too. I'm about a mil down, uh, and before all the fuck shit with the creators, there were no community spaces. It was from what I'm seeing, it's like Chama is bringing everyone together, um, in terms of MCC, because dude, it sucks because you're right. We're competent, and I don't think the MCC team is malicious. I don't think they're scammers. I don't think they're rugging the project. I just don't think that they don't know what they don't know. And it's taken the community coming together to make the team aware that there's a lot that they don't know. They might know how to farm, but in terms of like running a community, like it's not working at all. Personally, would love to attract that community as well. One of the first things we did was like Nathan isn't like a figurehead for that community at all. But a lot of people look towards him because when you look at some of the stuff on the website built for MCC, it was built by Nathan. The first time I went into a Twitter space or whatever for MCC, I heard Nathan talk, and I thought he was the person running it. That's how
same
like
here. Same
yeah,
here. I
and,
literally I actually thought that as well. Sorry for interrupting, but that's
no,
so
yeah,
funny.
yeah. I thought he was running it, and so like personally, if I was like, we were building out this project before MCC took a big turn down because we believe there's room in the space for multiple projects of this nature. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. We both can survive. Uh, it's just, gosh, like if I wasn't running helping run this project, I would probably still believe in an MCC. I'd be trying to run spaces, do whatever I can to make it work. It's just, uh, I think it'll just take time. I think it'll take time for them to come over here. MCC just announced that they're going to do a V3. So people have a little bit of hopium. Myself, too, I have a little bit of hopium. If that comes crashing down, then we will aggressively reach out to them, the community in MCC, and try to onboard them. We're still less than a $50 million market cap, and most of the people who invested in MCC, myself included, had full faith it was going to a bill, had full faith it was going to multiple bills. So if if we're just gonna let the team either keep them afloat and deliver on what they've promised, or if they don't and they fail again, I'm sure it'll be pretty easy for us to bring them on over, and we'll welcome them with open arms. I love being a part of those Twitter spaces too, the community Twitter spaces for MCC, because a lot of the takeaways are really fucking smart. There's a lot of giga brains in those Twitter spaces. And so, yes, definitely our goal is to bring more and more of the community over here. But I don't want to influence them right now, because when MCC was crashing due to the inflationary whatever, I specifically remember CCC, a different project, Cross Chain Capital. They were posting on Twitter, MCC's dead. Come to CCC, like, join us, ditch that. And even if CCC survives, I will never buy their token because of how they operated. So uh, we're just going to let that play out a little bit. If MCC can get their stuff together and provide for the community, great. Those guys can, succeed. But until then, would like that to run its course. And I've got people in my DMs who are part of like leading those Twitter spaces and are main speakers on their space. So I really I'm not pushing for them to come over here yet, because I don't want them to FUD their bags. I don't want to FUD their bags. MCC has $20 million in funds. Like, they should be able to do something with that. I hope that they're able to make it work, my bag included. But long term, I would love those people to come over here. And also, we're a little bit more premature. We don't have our yield farming going. We don't have our liquidity providing going. Our algorithms just getting started. We're going to launch tests tomorrow on the real trades. Want to build out as fast as possible, but as intelligently as possible, so that when the time comes, uh, people aren't scarred. I don't want people to sell their MCC and be like, okay, I'm going to give this a gamble. I want them to be like, okay, I saw the mistakes in this project and that project is doing it right. I'm actually going to buy and commit and not try to just recoup my money. Because a lot of people, gave me DMs when we announced this project as well. They're like, oh, Nate's just trying to make back his mill from MCC. Not the case. Not the case at all. We were planning this before MCC crashed, because we are bullish on the technology, bullish on DeFi 3.0. And to answer TLDR your question, we would love that community to come over here. We just need to give them time.
And like I would also say, like, our goal isn't to like poach the MCC community. It's like we always talk about, like, there's space in this space for all of us to coexist. And I think, just at least speaking for myself, and I know Nate and a lot of the other people who were excited about this project, like, we were excited because of the technology that we saw in MCC. And the only thing that made me ever lose faith was, the fault in that technology. And so, we've brought a working functional version of that, improved, and something that we actually understand too. And I think, like, the same people who recognized in MCC that that was, great technology and was inspiring for them, and it, encouraged them to buy, I think those people will, come to us as well. And I say as well because it's like I said, I want to stress, we're not trying to poach any other communities. It's not about putting any other communities down, shaming any technology. We're all going to be different. We're all going to be doing our own strategies. And like, our only concern is like providing for you guys. It's providing for ACYC holders and like maximizing our yield, and whatever other chains are doing, like, that's awesome. Like, we're hyped on that. So yeah, it's just an exciting space overall. But yeah, I think it'll be great to just share the community, really.
Yeah, would love for people to cross invest in both of us. It's just like investing in Solana and Ethereum if you're bullish both. Before I bring up Low Stranario, I do want to just mention something that really diversifies us from the MCC team without like pooping on them. Nathan, how many other developers on the MCC team were you working with, like, hand in hand?
For the first like week, it was no people, but the day before I was exiled from the team, there was one other web developer that came on, or maybe the day before that, but it was mostly by myself.
And then
so
how many
yeah.
people are like cross-checking you on our project?
Oh yeah, there's like several developers. I mean, there's less advisors overall, but for ACYC, it's several developers.
Yeah, and that's one of the big issues I had when, like, I get a lot of DMs and I do read them all. And one of the things that I kept getting DM'd about was the fact that, Nathan was pushing out stuff that, had some faults and errors in it, but in reality, like, you can't trust one person to do all of one thing. You can't trust one developer to do all the developing. When we solved and, created a non-inflationary contract, our main developer wasn't the only person working on that. He first started it. We had another developer cross check it, and then we had a final, and our most grand, experienced developer come and cross check all of it. So we trust but verify, and that's one of the big things about us. We're not, we don't have as many advisors currently, but we have more experience than I think any project that's launching something of this nature, because we've learned a lot of lessons from other experiences in the crypto space that we don't have to make mistakes right now. We don't have to make these beginner mistakes and have these, FUD attacks. So an investment in us, like, yes, yes, the price might go down short term, but long term, if you're bullish on what we're doing, then you will be very safe and happy to hold.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I just have one more question. You
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
partially answered it. I just wanted I just want some reassurance. So I, I really do like the idea of the trading aspect. I think that's what you guys said. But the thing that I was wondering, just to make sure, I think you actually said this. I just want to confirm this. You guys plan on doing a farming kind of thing that MCC did, right?
100%. Yeah. We're
Yeah,
That
very
we have
focused on
different risk level, investments that we will be making, and those will be, focused on different yielding strategies. So, like, yeah, absolutely, that is one of the ones that we're looking at.
wow,
Mhm.
that is incredible.
Yeah.
So I will say one thing that's huge about what you were doing with this is diversification. You're not just doing all yield farming. I really like the aspect of going into the little risky plays and
Yeah,
um
risk adjusted
it,
trading is our goal to
it's
maximize, capital returns for you guys.
that is extremely bullish. Like, if
Well, thank you, man.
for everybody that is listening in this chat, that is huge. Like, the yield farming is great. Yield farming is great. I think we all like yield farming. It's very low risk, and it does bring back returns. And when you have a lot of money in the treasury, it does bring back a lot of returns. But when you diversify and get into the trading aspect, oh man, if that doesn't like scream bullish, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. That is
Yeah,
huge.
and that's why Nate said we're betting on ourselves here, because we see it the same way too. I mean, if you can imagine those trading strategies with the power of a treasury behind it, and all of that going back to the community that's supporting it, it's like an unstoppable train.
That is kudos to you guys. Like, seriously, kudos to you. That is huge. Wow.
Thank you so
I'm
much,
actually
man.
really happy I put money in this. This is going to be exciting to experience. Wow.
We're excited too. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
exactly.
that's this whole thing. This
And
is
that's,
super exciting.
yeah, that's why I mentioned the price might go down, but long term, we're going to execute on everything that we've mentioned. And, the final vision is a $1 to $10 billion vision. So, uh, no worries and hodling in this bag. Um, and then also just one, yeah, our name kind of speaks on it too. I know our website just starts by saying meme index, but all coins yield capital. We want to yield capital through everything. Meme season won't be here forever. Dip season won't be here forever. We won't be able to catch every dip forever. Like someday, the dip will have a dip and the dip will have another dip. We won't profit from that forever. But what we will profit from long term is, the farming strategies. So at the end of the day, if we're in a bear market and everything's to shit, we're still going to be making money. Our holders are still going to be making money. We're going to be the Binance token of the next of the next bear market. And gosh, I talk so bullish. I don't mean to, but like I do want to mention we've all been there before where we're super bullish on the technology and super bullish on the token and super bullish on everything. And then we look back at it, or not even super bullish on the token. We're super bullish on the team, the project, and the technology. And we're holding these tokens. And the next thing we realize when the price starts to turn down, we're like, oh, wait, what does this token actually do? Like, I'm just holding a token over a company. Like, this company had an ICO or whatever, and I'm holding their tokens. But at the end of the day, I'm just holding tokens. I'm not yielding anything. I'm not being rewarded for anything. This company's pulling in millions and millions of dollars of volume and revenue from their products or services, and they're not rewarding their holders. And our goal is to reward our holders in 10 different ways. Our goal is bear market, we welcome you. Bull market, we welcome you even more. Sideways action, we would love you so much. So yeah, we're definitely risk adjusted. Los Straneos or
Yeah,
Stranero?
it's Lo Straniero. It
Los
means the string.
Stranero.
Yeah, it means the stranger.
That.
So, I gotta say, a number of things. But first, I want to go back to what Oster was saying about diversification and how important that is. And I just couldn't agree more about that. And in that vein, the fact that you said that there's room for an MCC and an ACYC and others that are looking to do similar things. That's the kind of philosophy that I love and I really appreciate, and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people as well. And then I wanted to also mention that you won me over by how you answered the question about bringing dissatisfied or maybe like people that kind of got stung by MCC, bringing them over and poaching them and things like that. And your response to that, I think, is huge, and it's really important, that you're taking the approach that you are, and just of course welcoming everybody, but not like looking to take something out of somebody else's bowl basically to put it in your own. I think that's really important. And then the last thing I'll say, and I'll let other people get up here and talk, is I just looked on Uniswap, and I'm not sure where can ACYC be acquired at this point?
Yeah, so if you go to ACY.capital, you should get to our site, and there's a buy link on there, and that'll take you to either Dex Tools or Uniswap, and you should be able to just right there click in and trade Ethereum for ACYC. And then also to echo what you were saying, yeah, I think to be bullish on this space and this technology, you have to be able to recognize that that's greater than any one project. And so it would be disingenuous to say we are going to be the only DeFi 3.0 token that succeeds. That doesn't make any sense. If this is a good technology, then there's going to be 20 good projects that do everything differently. It's like cryptocurrency. And the same reasons that I got so excited about that years ago and invested in so many different projects, it's not one's going to beat the other. It's everything's doing awesome shit, and I'm I just want to be a part of that, and we just want to provide awesome shit for you guys. And honestly, after being burned myself on whatever it is, MCC, MSC, VSC, what all of those forks, it's it comes down to knowing that getting the most big brain team together and taking the reins on that and being the ones to provide for the community gives us way more control over being able to actually provide and do that, versus just sort of being at the whim of other projects, and you don't know if it's a dude with a MetaMask wallet and his roommate, or if it's just a guy on some other side of the world that's going to rug you. It's we are here. We're here to face the community. We're here to talk to you guys and answer your questions, and we're here to yield some capital for you and reflect.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I'm actually on the site right now, and it took me to the acy.capital/stats, but I don't think that's where I'm supposed to be. I went to the launch dashboard, but maybe I'm supposed to be on a different part.
Oh yeah, so if you go to acy.capital without the stats, there's a view on Dex Tools button.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you click
I can use that. Oh, I see it.
You can buy right through Dex Tools there, or you can click try on Uniswap, and that'll take you to Uniswap, and you can work directly through your interface, and that's pulling right from our liquidity pool that we are providing to daily.
Perfect. And then the last thing is the website, it looks like it does say that there's a 10% tax on buy-in, as well as the 10 on the sell.
Yes, so the 10% buy-in tax, that's where the reflections come from. And so that's sort of what Nate was talking about earlier. When somebody buys, 10% of that is taxed, but that is spread across everyone currently holding ACYC. So then you as a holder, once you're holding that, every single transaction that goes through, you are getting yield, directly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure. I just thought, oh, wait, that looked like a discrepancy, but now I understand.
The questions. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and for an example too, anybody who bought a few hours after launch, they should be up nearly 20% in their total stack just from reflections thus far. So yeah, like the longer you hold, the more reflections you'll get, and it does reward holding. But also, as much as we love people buying, the treasury does benefit from selling too. So uh, just gonna throw that out there as well. There's no shame in fumbling your bag and then FOMOing in later.
And that's something so fun about these coins is like, if there's a massive sell off in a normal token, you crap your pants. But with something like this, like you just reflect so hard. The volume that comes in from a massive sell goes into the treasury, and then the volume coming in from all those buys goes directly to all the holders. So like if, the price is going to do what the price is going to do, but overall, like if the people who are sitting there and believe in the project and hold on to their tokens, like you're just going to yield more and more, no matter how volatile the chart could be.
Cool. So I'm gonna bring up Faces of Ethereum. What's up, man? Faces of ETH. You there? Yeah, it might be on desktop.
He might be on desktop. Try to go on your phone and re-enter the chat because I believe you can't talk in a space on desktop.
For now, I'm gonna bring up Matt Walters. I see you've been requesting since the beginning. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on, guys? How are you?
Doing good. Just reflecting.
Doing good, dude. Reflecting and very sleepy.
Is that that was a pun?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're earning reflections and we're reflecting all day.
I got you. I like that.
Right.
My background's a real estate developer, and not crypto blockchain, but I've been in the space for about a year now, just following along, learning as I go, like everyone. And just wanted to say I was coming from MCC, and now looking at your project, and just trying to understand the tokenomics and the language, being used to like kind of articulate the project in terms of like how it's the capital is being allocated and whatnot. So it sounds kind of just wanted to just ask a couple of questions regarding that, and so it sounds like this is more this token is more of like a hedge fund type token, and that being said, I think the just a piece of advice might be to obviously keep full transparency, and also like kind of on like a dashboard kind of keep the overall yield and returns kind of posted versus letting like the individual person just make the decision on their own to buy and sell, because since you are allocating funds to different projects to make profits and then distribute that to the holders, I think that would be a wise thing to do, is to say like, look, this product's yielding this amount, and obviously there might be regulations against that. I know there are in like the traditional finance world, but in this sense, I don't know if there's any rules in crypto world that would kind of prevent you from saying stuff like that. But what do you guys think about something like that?
Are
Yeah,
you?
I think. Mhm.
Oh,
Go ahead, Nate.
are you suggesting to post what we're invested in or not post?
I think posting about it would be good, but also like just post the performance of the trades, like good or bad, and say like these are our wins, losses. This is what our lifetime averages for the fund, and then you can say, well, their algorithms are legit, and obviously you can look at their price, but the price can be skewed because the project could be just being it could be like exponentially growing, price could be growing just because the holders are still growing through the network effect. Therefore the prop like it doesn't validate the algorithm, because you could keep having people invest and then people could fall off if they're unhappy. But then if for some reason the marketing is outshining the actual truth, then you could continue to grow as a token, and project and price will still accumulate and increase over time, versus just like you said, slow and steady growth, but also kind of getting people to have like a more long-term mindset. And I think by kind of showcasing that the algorithm is superior to other methods of investments and other alternative tokens, because obviously we want competition in the space, but being that this is its own token, it needs to compete and it needs to have its own marketing that differentiates it from others. And one way to do that is to kind of speak the truth, being transparent, and showing its actual performance and its strategy. That way, it's easy, making it easy for others to buy and to explain it to their friends and to their colleagues or whoever they're talking to. I think that would be the easiest way for this to go viral versus, it's in one aspect, it's easier. It might have been easier to explain in MCC just as traditional farming. You just cluster a bunch of projects that are farming, you yield it, you stake it, and you distribute. This sounds a little more complex. It's not, doesn't roll off the tongue as easily to say that it's, I think a crypto hedge fund might be a better word for it, because you have multiple different strategies and way to mitigate your risk reward profile, than it is to say you're doing farming as a service, as point blank. That's what the token does.
Yeah, I think transparency, it's like we've talked about, it's a big thing for us. But also so is like not letting, the people buying ACYC or following us like get wrecked. And so of course we plan on, sharing the performance of our treasury. We're thinking maybe with a week delay or something after closing our trades, because the idea is we A, can't have people front running us, and B, we don't want people getting wrecked following our trades. And so like I think having the performance of our portfolio is absolutely huge, but there are obviously things that we have to keep to ourselves because we're using, proprietary stuff, to actually, execute those trades and make those decisions and find those positions. But yeah, transparency is going to be a part of that the whole way. And like everything that we can do to share with you guys, we absolutely will be.
Okay, I think that'll be like probably something that's like part of the dashboard, or like that's
Yeah,
something that.
well, Nathan is working on our dashboard right now, and part of that is the Treasury dashboard, 100%. So like that is already in the works even.
So the performance would just be a measurement of the treasury, but the treasury also
Oh,
accounts for.
Treasury is going to be a little different. Treasury is just the funds that we're going to allocate. It'll be split up, similar to MCC, kind of how you can see what contracts they're farming on. We'll split up the allocations into like different sections, and you'll be able to see how they're performing. And like Bogart said, like when it comes to the algorithm that's going to buy new tokens, we're going to be completely transparent about like point one here, exited for minus 90%. Point one here, exited for minus 90%. Point one here, exited for 40 ETH. We're going to be transparent about all of them, because one of my favorite things about leverage traders on Twitter, if you follow any of them,
Yep.
you'll see them post their weeks.
Mm-hmm.
3 mil plus for one day, 2 mil minus the next, 3 mil plus the next day, 1.5 minus the next. That transparency needs to be there, because otherwise you just think they're a god.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got
yeah,
to post your winners and your losers, and
exactly.
that in itself will buy trust, and then that will grow the base immensely in ways you can't even imagine. So I think that's critical. And I was also wondering about the I guess the distribution of this. So I guess it's just like it's the net profit or loss that gets the profit that gets distributed amongst everyone equally based off of the percentage of tokens that they own. Is that the math?
Yeah, that's it. So it's like everybody is getting 10% of, or 10% of all buys are reflected to owners based off of the, percentage. And yeah, so that's the basic economics of that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And then I like how you mentioned crypto hedge fund. Yeah, technically, like that's probably a better way to describe this. We're going to be hedging all markets to use coins to yield more capital. Uh, and it took me a second until the end of what you were like describing to understand what the beginning was. I think in the beginning you were kind of alluding at like, if people sell, the treasury goes up, but that doesn't mean you were making profitable trades. So yeah, we will definitely be keeping, that number separate too, to let people know that, we're not just making money because people are selling and we're taking money into the treasury.
Right. It's going both ways.
Right, and then what we get, what comes out of that, all our trading that we do, that's going to go, right back into providing liquidity for the pair, by doing buybacks, which then reflect to the owners. So like the better we do, the better you guys get more reflections, and that's the only way that we make any money, because that's it. We're invested in this project as individuals, and we're invested in this project by like having to perform for it to succeed, of course.
Right. Gotcha. I mean, is there like a specific? I mean, I know this is like the worst question, but like, do you have any sort of target like risk reward profile? Is it like, obviously if you're going to allocate risk, you're going to take safer bets farming, and then you want to hedge your bet and you want to go crazy, you want to go big on something like a meme shitcoin or something. So that being said, is there like a certain, like, are you expecting the overall profile to yield like it's an all-in type of thing and try to go for the moon, or is it more just like steady growth, manage it, keep happy people long term?
Yeah, we're here for steady growth and understanding that like these markets change, and like Nate and myself and many of the others on the team, we've been through so many different market cycles. And whether it's up or it's down, there's money to be made always, and it just takes being variable and like being able to adjust, and also like having your like cards put in the right places to begin
Yeah.
with. So like, yeah,
It,
adjusting risk reward is absolutely priority for us.
and one last question before I go. In terms of the bull market, bear market fund allocations, obviously if you're going to stick around through the bear market, if there's certain projects that are going to still succeed, but holders are going to exit the market, therefore bring the price of the token down. Is there a way to still take advantage of your algorithm, because I'm sure that like through the bear market there'll be a way to survive it and get decent returns even while things are tanking, but to salvage the price of the token, is there a way to simultaneously get the benefits of your strategy while also not taking the hit from all of the sellers just exiting the market just because it's a bear market? Is there a way to do
Yeah.
both?
Yeah, well, the thing
Like,
is like, it's never always up and it's never always down. There are peaks and valleys. And so like without giving away too much, I can certainly say that like our proprietary algorithms have like a lot of variables in place that can account for things like that and adjust, and that we can do to make sure that we are maximizing, our yield even in those big sell-offs. You can make money there if you know what you're doing and you have shit set up right.
Yeah, and I also want to touch on that too. A little bit about me. I was born in the bear market. I got rich in the bear market, and I got fuck you rich in the bull. So, you know, w- the one thing I learned about the bear is you disassociate emotions. The Buy the fucking dip, but don't hold. Buy the dip, sell the
yeah.
bounce.
So like, is there like, I think I know the answer to this, and I know that you kind of answered it in your own way, but I just wanted just to drill down on this because like you guys, your strategy is proprietary, and I'm sure it's brilliant and it works. I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying like your performance of this project will still prevail, but the overall price of the token will be in a bear market itself should everyone exit, because that's what's happening. Or is there a way to say, hey, look, like we want to hold on to the bear market, but if everyone else is pulling the price down but your strategy still works, like how do you protect the people who are holding on through the market? Like it's two separate things happening. That's what happens when
Yeah,
you collect everyone like this into a single portfolio. How do you get the people who are like committed to like the strategy to like prevail by not getting wrecked by all the sellers? Is that like the 2.0 version of like this concept?
yeah. So when it comes to sells, I know you're probably aware that 5% of every sell will be used to buy back tokens and add it to liquidity. So, say our treasury took in 100 ETH someday from selling.
Right.
We'd use 25 Ethereum of that to buy tokens, and then another 25 Ethereum of that to add it to the liquidity pool. So we'd add the 25 ETH worth of tokens and the 25 ETH flat to the liquidity. That way it should bring up the price a little bit and add some more stability long term. And then
Right.
also, like, I don't mean to shit on people who are like a part of this market now, but there's a lot of fresh blood. If I've never been associated or a part of a bear market, the one thing I'd want to do is get, associated with people who have. So personally, like, I'm not trying to just like blanket defend our project, but if I'm not familiar with a bear market, I should probably invest in a project or a team that is, so that they can perform better than I can. Because as far as I know, 35% of all of our realized profit will be shared amongst holders. So if we're successful in the bear market, and our dashboard is showing all the good trades we're making and all the profit we're bringing in, then I think maybe it just makes too much sense to make sense that people would buy or hold.
Right. But you guys are making. We're only getting 35% of the profit of the distribution of your trades.
But Bogart, can you break down that? I don't think we've posted the exact numbers.
Yeah, so the way that it's going to work is the allocation from the treasury and like our rewards. So like it goes into the treasury and then we go into our farming and trading and things like that. And then what comes out of there is going to go back to providing liquidity for the pair, which, that goes by we have to buy ACYC tokens, which means that we are all going to reflect super hard. And then, we got it going on. We get the rest of it after liquidity. Some of it goes to operational costs for us because it's the only way we get paid, our advisory fund. But yeah, so like what's yielding from there is specifically like it is the majority of it is going back to you guys. 35% is going to go back into the pair, into reflections, into providing liquidity and stability, for it.
And the remaining majority goes where?
And the remaining is what is the operational cost and allocation for the advisors, the ones that are already on the team, the development, the engineering crew.
Bogart, real quick, I just wanted to mention too, 15% of profit goes to advisors, so the rest will go to holders, the rest will go to liquidity, and the rest will go back into the fund to then make more money. So yeah, it does kind of sound scary when it's 35% is going to the holders, but the other 65% isn't going to us. It's going back to the fund, and it's also going back to providing liquidity for the pair. So buying back tokens on the market, like successful trades will end in us buying back tokens and adding more liquidity. Sorry that we only said 35%.
No, yeah, totally. But yeah, so I mean, we appreciate that and appreciate the questions. I think we have some people on Telegram that are wanting to come up right now. I don't know, Nate, if you see someone raising their hand as well.
Yeah, I'll bring up Bluth and Altcoin Girl. Yeah, and then Matt. Yeah, I don't want to dodge that. 15% of profit goes to us. The rest is redistributed to basically the betterment of the community. We're not taking a big chunk of this at all, and
that's already a very small percentage of our fund is going to the treasury or the war chest in the first place in that trading pair. So like you're already dealing with like a very small multiple of like the volume that's coming into our trades. And so like it's to say 35% sounds like a lot, but you're talking about 35% of 5%.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, if anyone here was here during the last bear market, BNB Binance token, they were in their own bull market. The Binance token, if you look at the price during 2017 to 2019, they didn't have a bear; they had a bull. We plan to be the Binance token. We plan to be the thing where if you're putting money, it's our way. You're sending it towards us. Yeah. So trust in us. Trust that we're gonna reward holders. That's the whole plan of this. Sweet. Yeah, I don't want to scapegoat the question because I think we answered it sufficiently. I think it makes sense, and I'm glad that you came up, Matt. I don't know if you're still here. I can't see you. I'm glad you came up because you asked some really good questions. All right, so I'm gonna bring up Altcoin Girl and Bluth. So we'll start with altcoin, then Bluth. Yo, altcoin girl.
Can you guys hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Well, basically, probably half of my question was already answered by Matt because Matt was asking them. But I wanted to also dig a little bit deeper into your guys. So when you create this fund, this sort of the hedge fund, right, of yours, how you're going to decide on the picks, not the farming part, but when you are kind of trading, you're selecting the biggest bets, and then you're playing in the bull or the bear market. What is your experience? And I know, Nate, you already mentioned that you were born and you got rich in the bear market. But then, can you just specify how? Like, did you work professionally? Did you do the individual trading? Basically, anything that you guys can share about your experiences, your credentials, and how it's going to be handled. And also, is it some of the algorithmic trading? Is it your hand cherry picking, some of the good bets? So anything that you can share to understand the strategy a bit better.
I think it all goes back to transparency again. We know what we know, and we know what we don't know. I know bear market trading like it's the back of my hand, but when it comes to farming, when it comes to liquidity providing, I don't know how to do that. I know a lot of people though who do. So that's where I think you might not have been here at the beginning of the call. Where if you look at our top holders, the second top holder is the advisory fund. That'll be used to incentivize the gigabrains to come, operate and execute on the stuff we don't know. That'll be used to incentivize people to, come give us their expertise, to come work with us, and to fill in the blank. Like Bogart doesn't know how to be a profitable liquidity provider. I don't know how to be a profitable liquidity provider, but we know people who do, and we've already got them on the back burner. And when it comes to, if we want to actually become like a deeper hedge fund, we'll reach out to some people and incentivize them to, come join us. It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes a team of gigabrains to make a giant hive. So there's things that we know and there's things that we don't know. And when it comes to the things that we don't know, we're going to find the people who do know. And I'm not trying to scapegoat the question at all, just being transparent. We'll find those people, we'll attract those people who, are going to execute in ways that we can't. And we're going to incentivize them heavily to come operate for all of our invested parties.
Mm-hmm. So you're building this group of people, group of advisors for now.
Yeah, currently, officially 3 advisors. We'd like to max out at 10. And, right now, we don't really need anybody else in terms of what we plan on doing during this last leg of the bull. We don't really need anybody. We also don't need anybody on the way down in the bear. But when it comes to operating, low volume midway through the bear, we'll bring on some people for that. And we'll also bring on some people to communicate with some larger investors. Right now, I'm not going to mention anybody at all. But we do have people having conversations with funds that I can't name, but they're getting the conversation out there and they're working on our behalf in ways that we can't. And the same will go in the future too. For the things that we can't do, we're going to bring those people on, incentivize them, and have them join us, because we're going to be here in a year, we're going to be here in 10 years, we're going to be here in the bull, the bear, the sideways, all of it. And the main thing is that we're going to incentivize the gigabrains.
Okay, and yeah, I just want to clarify for anybody that wasn't understanding. So out of our investment fund, 50%, goes back to you guys in buybacks, and that's reflections, directly, and then 35% remains in the treasury, because obviously the treasury needs to be funded, and then that's where the last bit is our 15% that goes to operating costs, and that goes to developers, and that goes to engineers, and it goes to web designers, it goes to everything. So just to clarify that for anyone.
Great, thank you.
Yo, Blue, bringing you up to the stage right now.
Hey guys, I'll try to be really quick. So, you spoke about how we'll look across all tokens and stuff. I was wondering, as we gain in size, and for example, Nate, you have a strong experience in NFTs and such, and obviously probably can use your clout to get whitelist for popular mints, stuff like that. Do you envisage that at some stage we will also include that as part of the offering? And then the same goes as well for things like IDOs and stuff, as we sort of grow in size and strength of the treasury.
In terms of whitelists for NFTs in this fund, we want to keep it simple. If we do bridge into NFTs, it'll be in the form of a DAO. It wouldn't be in the form of whitelists because honestly, we don't want people to give us whitelist spots on NFTs in the anticipation that we're going to hold to the bottom because that's not the case. We would take profit. Same thing with IDOs. We want to encourage and we will encourage projects to include us in their whitelisted venture capitalist funds or whatever to have an allocation of their tokens and to hold them because we will vet them properly and pick the ones that will be long-term winners. But in terms of NFTs, probably won't be touching those. NFTs is still like a young market. Like there's profit to be made, but the profit isn't from just jumping on whitelists. In my opinion, it's collecting blue chips, and even during the bear market, like even if we're not trading coins, I think we'll be doing some DAO work. There's a lot of stuff that'll come back bigger and stronger than ever. And anybody who's like been a part of market cycles knows a bear's coming. And when you hear me say a bear's coming, that's not saying that you should sell right now because in a couple months you'll be laughing at me saying, "Ha ha, Nate said to sell," because that's not the case. But the bear will come. And so, we'll diversify our positions as much as possible to grow our fund to a massive amount. Our total value locked will be insane. But yeah, as far as the NFT whitelist goes, we want to keep it simple. We're not a team of like 10 to 20 people who we can just allocate stuff to. We want to keep it like, everybody so far has the same vision, the same mindset, and we bounce off of each other very well. So yeah, we're gonna stick to what we know. We have phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 planned, and whitelist NFTs isn't in that yet. Maybe that's phase 6.
Yeah, perfect. No, that makes a lot of sense. And for the IDOs, I meant more just so we're on the same page. If there's a popular one coming up and we have good relationships in the space, whether and our treasury is of the size that it's not a huge risk, whether the group ACYC in total makes like a cornerstone investment in an IDO or something like that.
Yeah, so we are going to be introducing staking as well, and we'd like to put some game theory and some incentivize that as well. So in the future, sorry, just pulled back some curtains. We'll have staking, and if majority of holders want to propose something such as investing in an ICO, and the majority votes on it, then I don't see that being outside of the realm. I do want to mention if anybody's I'm not shitting on this project either, BBC or whatever they are, BCC. We don't want to become that where their entire project they just launched the other day, and their entire project is that the community is going to vote on what they buy, and the community is going to vote on what they sell and when they sell it. That's a recipe for disaster. So, as far as that though, we will we'll be as decentralized as possible. But if it comes down to some giant VCs coming in and buying up all of our tokens so that they can decide what we spend our money on, would like to try to stay away from that. But we do want to create like a staking format where people can vote and create proposals and we can cross check it.
Yeah, awesome, mate. And finally, last thing, when Discord.
When Discord, indeed.
The Discord is being built, my friend. It is being built right now and will be open and ready for all to join in a few days. I know a lot of people that have gotten into ACYC and in our community are more comfortable in Discord, and I am personally more comfortable in Discord. I miss all my reactions in Telegram, and so rest assured, the Discord is coming, and you will be able to pat that all over about your reflections, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cool. Let's take a couple more questions and wrap this up. I think we're running into the same issues that we had last night, where I don't want to pull back too many curtains because like I said, I don't want this. This isn't a meme coin. We are not going to operate off of hype. We're going to operate off of performance. Where we've been building this for a couple of weeks, and we brought on Nathan just last night, and everything's not fully developed and rolled out, and so we'd like everything to speak for itself. All right. I see Matt's requesting, so I'm gonna let Matt finish what he was saying. I didn't notice he got off, and then I'll bring up Hunter and Jason, and we'll call it a wrap. So Matt, I'm gonna bring you up first because I think you accidentally left the call.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back.
Looks like everyone in the Telegram chat is a huge fan. I think this team would be great to join if given the opportunity.
We have an email, so if you would like to send us an email, you're
Is it
free
on?
to.
It's on the website.
Yeah, so it's allcoinsyc@gmail.com. And yeah, any feedback from the community, if you guys talk in Telegram, we will have our Discord, and there will be, appropriate support channels in there, or our email is available to you guys if you want to propose yourself as an advisor, or, offer your skills. You're welcome to send us anything, and we will look at it. Absolutely. So yeah, thank you, Matt.
You got it. I've got a lot of contacts in the world.
Right
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
man. Well,
Reach out and let's
sweet.
conversate. Like we've said this entire space, like we don't know what we don't know, and if you have some value to add, let's talk about it.
100%. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Okay, cool, no problem. And I said that we were only going to bring a couple more people, but actually I just spam accepted everybody, so I'm gonna just whoever had their questions, leave your hand up, and the people that we just accepted will be the last ones. Let's start with you, Knock. Knock, what's up?
Hey, yeah. So I was trying to actually buy yesterday, like within the first hour on Dex Tools, and the transaction failed and I lost a fuck ton of ETH. Do you have any other recommendations? I know you said Uniswap.
Yeah, so Dex Tools always quotes higher gas, and it doesn't tend to charge that. But yeah, I tend to personally, when I buy ACYC or any other token, I go on to Uniswap, and then because our taxes are 10% on the buy side, and there's a normal amount of movement in the price, I would adjust the slippage to maybe 12%, 13%, and then you should be fine to get through. It's just Dex Tools can be a little weird with their gas quotes.
Yeah, I swear, like I could have swore it was on like 15% slippage or something, and I literally lost like 0.15 Ether on failed transaction. I was like fucking pissed. But
Yeah,
all right,
I would
so
say
I'll try that now.
try Uniswap. I like to rely on Uniswap. I look at Dex Tools obviously for the graphs, but yeah, right into the liquidity pool and out of it through Uniswap.
Cool. So Jason, what's up?
Hey guys, love what you're doing here. I was in the Spaces tonight and last night, and really excited for this project. I'm in college right now, and I'm studying finance. And I've been thinking for the last few months, like a combination of like something like a hedge fund or a private equity model combined with crypto would just have a really like a lot of potential. So really excited to see what you guys can do here. So my question is, I'm wondering if you guys have any thoughts on perhaps like implementing like a security token in the future, because obviously like potentially like with this kind of hedge fund model, there could be a question around regulation and like potential concerns about that. So I'm wondering if you guys have thought about that at all. Thank you.
Yeah, so like reflections in what we're doing, when you buy ACYC, like you are buying our token, which is yielding from our treasury. But like those reflections and those rewards are like staking. I don't know how much familiarity you have with staking tokens, but you're collecting rewards like that, and those are actual like active transactions where that's happening. But the thing is with ACYC is if there's no activity in the pair, you're not yielding. The yield, or quote unquote, comes from volume. So you don't hold ACYC and have, make a bunch of money. It requires volume in the pair, and that, that'll come from our treasury buying back, but it also comes from people purchasing. So that's the sort of way to look at it. It's not, it's not in and of itself something that yields. It requires the volume to do so.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Cool. Hunter, I see you have your hand up. What's up, man? Yeah, my bad. He had his hand up, but he wasn't a speaker. What's up, Hunter? You're a speaker now.
Okay, cool. Hey guys, thanks for having this Spaces, and sorry if this got covered earlier. I probably joined like halfway in, but I just wanted to confirm the 85% that goes towards benefiting holders, 35% goes directly to us, but does that come in the form of reflections?
Actually, 50% actually goes to you guys. I think it was we misspoke earlier. 50% of the treasury rewards goes to buybacks and reflections directly to you guys. 35% remains in the treasury for the treasury to grow up and grow. And then that last 15% is what goes to team allocation. So you guys, as the holders, are getting 50% of whatever we're getting in our reflection. That goes back to providing stability for the pair and reflections for you guys.
Cool. So basically, everything's paid in ACYC no matter what.
That's right. Yeah. So you'll be earning reflection. So when the treasury earns, when the treasury is yielding, and then we perform buybacks, that just goes, the way that it works is the treasury will buy ACYC with ETH. The treasury will transfer ACYC to the contract. The contracts will be reflected to the users. So you guys get ACYC for everything that comes out of our treasury, and then it also, it also goes right into the liquidity of the pair, which provides stability.
Yeah, that's actually awesome and sounds super like simple, keep it simple. And I like that. I guess just the last question, would there be a way on the dashboard eventually to separate the reflections from sell? Well, I guess they come from the same thing. I guess if you're buying with the money from the treasury to then reflect it to us, there's no way to really differentiate between an open market buy or a buy from the treasury that's giving us reflections.
Right. Yeah, because the treasury buys on the open market. So,
Right.
to your wallet, the purchases of the treasury are just a purchase, You guys, yeah, and on top of that, you are still getting 10% 10% of every purchase, just generally, yeah, it's getting reflected to you. So
Cool.
like all of that goes back.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for answering my questions. I hope you guys have a good night.
Thank you, dude. Thank you for coming up.
Yo, Faces of Ethereum.
Yo, second time's the charm. Let's see if it works this time. Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you perfect. Better than
We got
last
you.
time.
Word. All right. Yeah, I just want to say it's refreshing to hear you guys speak about this. Having been on some spaces and, hearing other speakers not sound so professional about some of this stuff. It's obvious that you have trading experience. I'm just wondering if you can expand on that a little bit.
Cool. So
expand on trading experience?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about implementing, automated trading strategies. You guys obviously sound, well versed in trading. It sounds like you're going to be implementing your own strategies. Who is on the team that's actually programming it, and kind of what history do you have with that?
Yeah, I can touch on just the base of it. I've already mentioned it for me. My personal history is I've been trading altcoins and major coins for like the last 4 years. 4 years. I've been profitable the entire time, which is hard to do. I've taken a lot of hard losses and learned a lot of hard lessons. And through that, learned that disassociating emotions is the most profitable thing anyone can do. In saying that, the people developing our algorithms aren't the people who are professional traders. They just know how to input the information that we'd like them to input to execute trades. They're completely removing emotions from the algorithm. There's no emotions. It's simple if this, then that, which is what trading breaks down to. If this, then that. If something that you're super bullish in and that has super high volume dips 50% in 30 minutes, then buy. If it goes up 50 to 100% within the next 30 minutes, then sell. If this, then that, that's the process. Our developers aren't traders. Our developers know how to write scripts. They know how to write programs. They know how to, make simple executions and advanced executions as well. And then on top of that, Bogart and I, we mentioned this a little bit earlier. We're not liquidity providers. We're not, farmers. We're not cross-chain chain farmers either, or arbitrage people. But we know people who are, and we're getting them on board as we speak. We're just, phase 3, 4, and 5. They will be unveiled with the larger our treasury gets. We're not going to, bring our, expert friends on board until they have a stack to use. To then profit our holders. So yeah, like as far as that goes, we'd like to also disassociate our dev and dev team from the public eye. uh, a lot of projects I think make the mistake of making their developer the project leader or the spokesperson. Our guys are up so many hours a day looking at code, wearing their blue light glasses, sitting behind the computer, executing stuff that we ask them to do. We'd rather just keep eyes off of them, and they we have a team of people working. Nathan is working with them. He knows they exist. He knows their identity if anybody has any questions about whether or not they are legit. But as far as doxing the developers or what their experience is, they have no experience in terms of being professional traders, but they do have tons of experience in code and tons of experience in writing scripts for us. So as far as that go, I hope that answers the base of your question.
And
lightweight, because coding is different in all aspects, right? Like a web developer is different from systems engineers, different from a database admin, right? So moreover, it sounds great that you guys are obviously versed in trading and they're going to be executing your strategies, but I was looking more for, and not to dox the devs or anything like that, I don't really care about that, but to understand their history in coding, like what background do they come from? That's more what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole, we have a lot of hands on deck. So it's hard to say, but the whole goal of this project is to bring people with many years of experience, on the Ethereum network and, in Solidity and in JavaScript and doing all sorts of, doing bots and everything, whatever it is. We have all sorts of different people working on it. So everybody's experience is obviously different, but it's not the whole, a big point of our, is of ACYC is that it's not contingent on any individuals, and so it's not relying on any one person's, prior trading experience or anything like that. It's the culmination of everybody involved, and getting the best people in the space, on the team.
Makes sense, man. Thanks for the answers.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Cool. So I think we'll wrap up. But before we wrap up, I just want to, for everybody who wasn't here at the beginning, I want to highlight the main points we talked about at the beginning. Nathan has released, a pretty bare bones dashboard for us where you can see our treasury fund, you can see, market cap, et cetera, et cetera. We'll be adding reflections. So you'll be able to connect your wallet to our dashboard and see how much you're reflecting, what percentage is being reflected, et cetera. And also a buyback column will be coming as well. The buyback column will show when we buy, how much we buy, and what we add to the liquidity pool. So it'll be pretty transparent about what we're doing as far as all that. And then we added, we doxed that the first largest holder, the person holding the largest amount of tokens is actually the liquidity pool, but the second largest is our advisory fund. So like I said, this entire call, we're going to attract the, most gigabrains and people to fill in the gaps on what we don't know or aren't experts in. And we'll be incentivizing them through tokens because, if we need expertise and et cetera, and our market cap's 100 mil, we don't want to just give people money from the treasury. And we also don't want them to, believe in the project and say, okay, well, I believe in it. I'm going to invest and buy tokens and hopefully we can get to a bill. We would like to give them an allocation of the tokens, slowly released over time so that they are funded for their efforts. So you'll see that the second largest holder is actually the advisory fund. That fund won't be selling. It'll only ever have transfers out of it. And we'll be completely transparent about who we're bringing on board, how much we're allocating to them, and what their role will be in our project. And then lastly, our algorithm is done. It's ready for testing tomorrow. The algorithm will be, scanning new pairs and seeing which ones are, the most likely to be worth investing in. And we will hopefully have some results in the near future, 24 to 48 hours. But we'll be perfecting that algorithm, over the coming days and weeks. And we're excited to release those results as well. Looking forward to hosting more spaces. I know sometimes it gets a little boring with the, digging into the real nitty gritty of it all. It's fun to be a hype fest, but it's also really important for serious investors and serious people to come up here and ask the questions that really get people on their toes. I think some of the questions asked tonight might have, rattled a few people. But we really know what we're doing. We know what our goals are. We've planned this out since the beginning. And so we can really speak on our product and our service and our goal in the future. And we really hope that we've helped lay it out so that you can show your friends on it too. Not that that's the purpose. This isn't some MLM scheme. Because I know it's kind of hard when you're coming from NFTs as well. Like you're sitting at the dinner table and your family's asking you about those pictures of monkeys or something, and you're telling them that they yield this and etc. that, and they're like, "What the fuck?" But it's easier when you have like a pre-programmed understanding of the entire thing and just go, "Hey, do you know who Stephen Curry is?" Yeah, I know who Stephen Curry is. Show them a picture of Stephen Curry's Twitter profile. Hey, do you know Jason Derulo? Yeah, I know who Jason Derulo is. Look at his Twitter profile. It's a punk. So basically, it's easy to describe what's going on when you have a greater understanding of how to elaborate it to people who actually know nothing. So I hope this space really helped spread some more information, show how transparent we are, show what we're working on, and honestly, like, gosh, I don't mean to say to the moon, but I'm gonna be like, we're all gonna be in this room in 30 days and 60 days and a year, and we're gonna be looking back like, hey, we envisioned this shit and it happened. I know, some of us, we have vision boards. Some of us write what we want to happen in the future, and we hope that they happen and we work towards them and we manifest it. That's something that's going on here. I can personally say there's nothing I've ever manifested or really cared about and dreamed about that didn't come to fruition, and this is one of them. We're going to be $1 billion market cap. We're going to be a $10 billion market cap. We're going to be the bear market solution. We're going to be it's going to be easy. I mean, in the last bear, my favorite thing to do was buy Binance token because they didn't experience a bear. CZ was really fucking good at navigating the bear market. So we plan on being the Binance token of the next bear market. We plan on being the obvious hedge fund of any bull market, and we plan on being the most decentralized DeFi 3.0 project in space. And last thing, there's room for a lot of people to succeed. We're not the only one. We're not going to talk that on anybody else. We're not going to poach anybody from anywhere else. There's room in this space for everyone to succeed, and we just hope to be at the forefront. Bogart, anything you want to add before we end the space?
No, I just wanted to say like thank you guys for coming and listening, and like Nate said, well, we know it gets technical sometimes, but it's it's good to be able to field your questions, and we're just happy to be here and have that open line of communication with you guys and that level of transparency, because so often we've been on the other side of that with projects where you don't know what's going on and you can't get a question through. And so yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys as the community for being here and being a part of ACYC, tuning in. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Until next time, I'll upload this, or I'll download it, and we'll upload this in the other space to YouTube. Twitter is just like downloading the whole files from the other day. It can take up to 24 hours. So peace out, everybody. See you in the next one.
Later, guys.
Later.